You better care about what your spouse thinks. You had better care what your spouse thinks. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. You know, I've been talking a lot about marriage lately. I talk a lot about, well, just about every kind of subject. And here lately I've talked a lot about marriage because, well, I know a lot about being married. I've been married nearly 30 years. And so I got to thinking today about how important it is that we respect each other's feelings, each other's likes and dislikes, and care enough about what your partner thinks and feels. I believe that so many relationships go south for more than the winter. They go south because, well, people quit taking into consideration, how is this going to impact my spouse? How does my spouse feel about this? We're not perfect in relationships, and we all have our different likes and dislikes. And, you know, maybe I might like a certain movie and my husband doesn't like it, but if he didn't want me to go to it, I probably wouldn't go to it. But usually he'll say, yeah, you go ahead and go to the movie. Or he loves to golf, but I'm not interested in golfing. But I say, you go for it. Okay, but if he was doing something that I didn't want him to do, I would bring it to his attention. And if he didn't think that that was important, what I thought, then I would question my relationship. And so my husband does care what I think, and I care what he thinks. So that's not to say that we don't have our own likes and dislikes. We just kind of work around those things. And yet it's important that my husband, or that I, for my husband, respect each other's opinions. And if something's not, you know, if your spouse does not feel good about something, then listen to your spouse. Listen, because you're a team. And the moment you start working against your spouse is the moment that that relationship begins to head south. Because we need to care what our spouse thinks. I don't care how politically correct people are now. You know, everybody does their own thing, you know. Well, in a marriage, if you want a real marriage, in my opinion, you're not always just doing your own thing. A lot of times you're doing things together. You know, that's just the way it is. That's why you're a couple. You don't have to spend 24/7 together. My husband and I most certainly don't. But we do spend time together, quality time. And he values my opinion and I value his. Even when we have a difference of opinion, we value each other's opinion and we respect each other's opinion. And we take into consideration each other's opinion, and we take into consideration how the other person feels about whatever it is that we're discussing. So often today, people don't care what their spouse thinks. I don't care what my spouse thinks. I'm just going to go out and hang out at the bar. Or I don't care what my spouse thinks. I'm going to go out and hang out with my girlfriends. Well, when you stop caring about what your spouse thinks, there again, that relationship may be heading south, because I believe that's part of marriage, is to care what your partner thinks, to care what is important to your partner, what makes your partner happy. Part of love, you know, the people that I love, I want them to be happy. I'm always thinking about what makes that person happy and what makes them not happy. You know, I want to kind of help them avoid things that would not make them happy. It makes them unhappy. And I want to bring into their life the good things that make them happy. When we love someone, we want them to be happy. We're thoughtful of them. We're thinking about them. We're wondering what makes them happy. What don't they like? You know, so our behaviors do impact our spouse. It does reflect our relationship. When we get critical in our relationships, or we get apathetic, or we don't care, or, you know, it's like, I don't care what my spouse thinks. Well, you better think again. You better think again, in my opinion. Remember, I don't give advice. I don't give suggestions. I just tell you how I see life and how I live my life. I take into consideration the people that I love. I take into consideration their likes and their dislikes. I know I won't always agree with them and they won't always agree with me, but I do care what they think. And I let them know that they care, that I care what they think. And in my decisions, I consider the impact of what I'm doing and how they are going to be affected by it or how they perceive it. You know, how people perceive our behaviors is also important, almost just as much as actually the behavior itself. Because if someone thinks that we don't care about them, if we, pay no attention to them, we don't care about their feelings, what are they going to think? I believe that we've got to let the people know that who we love, whether it's our spouse, family member, friends, we've got to let them know we care. And part of caring is caring about what they think. From my house to yours, may God bless you, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.